All right, we just finished an eyeball. Not totally, I have a couple more things to do. We're gonna move on to the nose. So the nose is that thing that a lot of people get wrong right off the bat. So going back to this face right here. Or actually, maybe not. Well, let's do it here. So a lot of times when you were little, this is how you drew a face. Is this correct? Yeah. So the nose is sideways. I find that to be really funny because the nose is only sideways if you're Picasso and attempting it that way. So the nose, if we're looking at the proper nose, what happens is the nose is made out of a couple things. First of all, the ball of the nose, this is the cartilage. So I'm just going to draw very lightly. Ball of the nose, and this might be a different shape depending on, people. And then this is going to be kind of where the nostrils are going to lie. Again, this is a very generic nose, so you're going to have to really pay attention to what your specific nose looks like. And then you have the actual bridge of the nose. So the bridge of the nose is the part that screws people up because there's no actual lines on your nose. There's going to be shadows depending on where the light is coming. So we're going to pretend that the light is just coming directly from here down. So what's going to happen is the ridge of the nose, and this is where the eyes would be, right? So eyes would be like right there. So we need to kind of play around with what the heck we're seeing. So nostrils are very individual. So I'm just going to draw some generic nostrils. The ball is actually going to disappear. This is just kind of helping you. By the way, the cartilage, I hate to scare you guys, but the cartilage of the nose just continues to grow. Indeed, it does. So as you get older, it's going to keep growing. This is bone. That's kind of where it's at. So this is essentially our nose, okay? But this kind of looks blah, right? So what we want to do is really make it look like an actual nose. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of shading. So I'm going to shade around here. And then this is where the eyes would be placed, right? And then usually there's going to be a little bit of a shadow cast around the cartilage. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my blending stick. You don't have to. I'm just going to do it because it makes it go a little bit faster, and I don't want these videos to be too boring for you guys. And then your nose is going to have a highlight somewhere. So we got to figure out where that highlight's going to be. Sometimes, depending on the curve of the nose, you might actually get a bit of a light up there. You might not. I actually think this nose is going to have just a straightforward ridge. So I'm just going to blend this in. Eyes would be, and then there's probably going to be a shadow cast behind the nose because the nose is casting a bit of a shadow. And then you're going to have this, I think it's called a Cupid's something or other, and then the lips would go there. So you see we'll be putting all this together, but for now, let's just concentrate on one skill at a time, and that is the nose. So you can change the shape of the nose. Maybe the nose is a little bit more, maybe the nostrils are a little bit bigger. You can change that going forward. It's totally up to you. Actually, it's not up to you. It's up to whoever it is that you're drawing and what the shape of their nose is. But the thing to remember is that there is no actual lines where the nose is. There is going to be a ridge that is created, and that ridge is created because the nose is sticking out of the face, okay? And that is essentially what your nose is kind of going to look like. You're just going to get rid of all the lines in here, okay? And then there's like little bits of detail, like sometimes you might get, like my nose isn't perfect, so I know I definitely have more of like my nose is a little lopsided, so I have a little bit more here. But it all it all depends on what the actual nose that you're looking at looks like. But that's kind of the basic starting of a nose. Okay. Nostrils, I want to say, so like, let's say nostrils are very specific, like I said earlier. So if we started with this, nostrils can also kind of go up a little, and maybe you don't see them. And then you have more of like a roundness. So that's another approach. And so if that's the case, you might not actually see the nostrils themselves. And that just means the nose is a little bit more pointy. And then you would have to go in and adjust. So anyway, that is essentially how we would do a nose. Thanks for watching.